sabotaging self-talk, statements that I hear over and over again from clients, and what can you say in your own mind to counter it so that you can actually do the behavior that you're trying to do to get the result that you're trying to achieve.
Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize everybody 50, 60, 70, and above.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to your second 50, and you are joining me on my 6th episode in my 6-part series on what are some of the things that we say to ourselves in our own mind that get in the way of us actually following our programs and block us from losing weight. All right, I've been giving you the last 5 episodes have been 5 of the most common, predominant ones that I hear from clients over and over again, and now we're on number 6, and this is a big one. All right, so let me set up the scenario. It's been a long day. You have been overtaxed and over-challenged. It comes towards the end of the day. You are, exhausted. You're mentally spent. You've got like 5% battery capacity left in your brain for dealing with anything, and you're hungry. All right, this is usually a typical scenario for how this particular self-talk comes into play. And you go home and you order takeout and you start to eat it. And as you're doing it, you can feel that kind of bubbling up of like, I'm gonna, like this, almost like a loss of control, a strong desire to like keep eating, even though you're going to eat beyond fullness or beyond comfortableness. And in your mind, what you're saying is, oh my God, like I just don't have the energy, the mental capacity to fight this. So like, I'm just going to throw in the towel. I'm going to eat as much as until I feel like stopping, and I'll make up for it tomorrow. All right, that is the self-talk. That is the sabotage thought. And it's the one that we have to replace because it's doing you in every time. And every time you're in the situation where you are low energy and don't have the wheelhouse to deal with it, and you say to yourself, I'm just going to let the chips fall where they may. I'm going to eat as much as I want right now. I don't have the willpower to fight it, and I'll deal with it tomorrow. Every time you do that in that scenario, you are doing another repetition of reinforcing that that's exactly the same thing you're going to say next time, because it becomes a habituated thought pattern. And that results in the behavior. Most of my clients will say, I'm trying to stop the behavior. What can I do? But really where we have to do the intervention is in our thought, okay? So with this one in particular, here's the counter thought. When you hear yourself saying that, you have to come back. The other side of your brain has to respond like in a dialogue and say, you know what? Let me just think about this for a second. If I continue to overeat right now because this is so good and it's so pleasurable to me, and I just don't have the willpower to fight the drive to overconsume it, if I let myself keep doing that, I'm actually going to go beyond comfortable. And when I'm done, I'm going to be in pain. I'm going to be uncomfortable for the amount of food that I put into my system. And tomorrow, that means I'm going to, what am I saying to myself? I'm going to deprive myself tomorrow. I'm going to make up for the overeating today.
Your Second 50 Life is my virtual platform that is designed for both men and women over 50 and 60, 70, and 80. And it includes pre-recorded video information on exercise and how to do it, whether you're fit and in good health, or if you have bad knees, bad shoulders, a bad back, whatever. It includes information on how to eat for weight management and how to eat for health management. It includes information on the psychology of aging and what do we need to do in our heads, because let's face it, this aging thing is not for the faint of heart. So your Second 50 Life is a virtual platform of resources that you can access at your own leisure, but it also includes 2 times a month live video coaching with me so that you can bring your own individual questions and get individual coaching, as well as have access to all the information on the pre-recorded videos. So please check it out, because we're all in this together and we got this.
So I'm going to deprive myself tomorrow and be even extra rigid, or so I think. But really what that is saying to yourself is that, I'm going to be uncomfortable right now, and I'm going to be uncomfortable even more tomorrow. Do I want to feel uncomfortable? for all that time? Or do I want to take on, like, let me just slow down, let me savor the next couple bites of what I'm going to eat, and let me kind of like let myself say, okay, is this the only pleasure, the only way I can give back to myself? I have eaten enough to be satisfied. Can I step away from this and maybe do something else for myself, which is actually going to pleasure me? All right. So now we're having a different dialogue in our head, and we're not throwing the towel in and creating discomfort as soon as we're done eating and tomorrow. We're kind of having a little bit of discomfort in the moment of having to like slow ourselves down and stop at an appropriate amount. That's a little uncomfortable, but it's nowhere near as uncomfortable as eating to overstuffed and then having to feel like we have to deprive ourselves tomorrow. All right. So it is really like a game of what is bringing to your attention, where is the most discomfort? Because in the moment when you're saying, right now I just don't have the willpower to fight this, you're making a decision that the moment discomfort is too great, when really that's less discomfort than overeating now and then undereating or trying to undereat tomorrow. Like you really got the algorithm wrong in your mind, and that's what's leading you to fall off the path every single time. If you can just remind yourself of the fact that doing that again this time is going to lead to more uncomfortableness, and that is more of a like a barrier, like I want to push away from, than like slowing down for a second and then saying, okay, but I'm going to give myself some more like pleasure and some more like recharging to my battery, but it's going to be isn't there some other thing I can do that's not food? Because I've reached my capacity for comfort right now. All right. So this is like what I'm giving you is what do you need to put into your own brain so that the new thoughts that I've just told you can become autopilot. Because if you practice and repeat them enough, they will override the old pattern of, I'm just going to throw in the towel now. I'm too tired to even think about it. Like, I'm just going to do what I do with this food right now, and then I'll worry about it tomorrow. I'll just make up for it tomorrow. All right. That's an auto thought. It's like you think you're having that thought. You think you're making that decision. But in reality, it's been done so many times. It's like a domino. It's like you hit the first domino and they all go down. That is just a like reactionary behavior now coming out of that thought process. And you can reprogram the thought so that you can engage in a different behavior. All right. So this is my 6th episode in my 6-part series of the most common sabotaging self-talk, statements that I hear over and over again from clients. And what can you say in your own mind to counter it, so that you can actually do the behavior that you're trying to do to get the result that you're trying to achieve. And in this series, I was addressing weight loss. All right, everybody, pleasure to have you on the series. And if you like this series, then you definitely want to look into my subscription platform, yoursecond50.life, or go to my website and see how you might be able to work with me one-on-one, because I bring my master's degree in psychology into my work for weight loss, along with nutrition and behavioral modification and macros and all that. So, my experience is that you can't do just the behavioral things and just the lifestyle with the food and the macros and the calories if you're not doing the psychological intervention, and you can't do just the psychological if you're not doing the lifestyle intervention. They have to be done together in order for you to successfully see your weight go in the direction you want it to, and then most importantly, maintain it. So pleasure to have you, everybody, and I'll see you soon on another video. And if you'd like to have access to some of my additional resources, I can be found at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on my website, www.judyterrell.com.